In today's episode of Coaster Spotlight, we're taking a dive into a Viking-themed coaster called Fjoll. Not only does this coaster have an incredible layout with great coaster elements, it also features custom supports that were designed and built using other roller coaster tracks as the supports, beautiful Viking boarding station and theming surrounding the entire coaster, a good track length on this one, and it was designed by a pair of legendary builders from this community. Definitely a jam-packed coaster spotlight, so stay tuned and let's check it out. Hey yo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Coaster Spotlight. As mentioned, we're going to be looking at Fjoll, a Viking coaster created by Darkz and Jalk, two legendary builders in this community. They don't really say anything in their submission form other than Jalk and Darkz official Nordic 4K coaster blueprint collaboration. Hope y'all like it. So a collaboration on a 4K blueprint, that's actually kind of out of the ordinary. Normally we see people collaborating on much bigger projects. So it's actually interesting to see two people getting together to share those 4,000 pieces together. But this is definitely a good blueprint and something that I wanted to showcase. As I've mentioned to you guys in the previous weeks, I definitely want to get 4K coaster blueprints out on the show for Tuesday's coaster spotlights, and this is definitely a high caliber showcase for exactly what I'm looking for. So why don't we take a closer look? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Fjoll coaster. Definitely a very Viking inspired custom sign here made out of these Aztec adventure pieces. That's really cool. As you can see, it has a very dynamic and interesting coaster layout with coasters as the coaster supports, which is also a really cool feature. Tons going on here in terms of theming. We have some VFX of lightning in the back. Definitely probably gonna have to check this one out at nighttime here. And to my previous point, this is what we're looking for in coaster spotlights. I want to see these beautiful themed coasters that are doing something unique and different. And I think what's unique and different about this one is the fact that we have, maybe we should do this at nighttime, the fact that we have a Viking theme first and foremost, because Viking is not native to Planet Coaster. In order to get an actual Viking aesthetic, you have to handcraft them with the adventure pieces, with a mixture of alpine, fantasy, and adventure will eventually give you designs like this, and you have a beautiful Viking boarding station here. Setup was actually quite easy on this one, nothing too crazy. Standard pathing starts off with angle snap, and the rest kind of flows together. So definitely giving you guys a 5-star rating on setup. Super intuitive, super easy to get going. So if you would like to download this and put it in your own parks, you'll definitely have no struggles at all. Got a little bit of a VFX going on here, looking really cool and frosty here at night, as the Viking land should. Really cool. So yeah, not only is the Viking theme setting it apart, making it really interesting, they've added elements of custom supports, VFX, a little bit of mystery, and a little bit of magic. So all that together, we have what are these sugar candies up here for some sort of drapery. I love it. Really cool stuff. And it's looking to have a fantastic coaster layout. Since we're at night, why don't we just start things off with a nighttime POV? I did see some lightning in the background there. The god himself, Thor, is getting angry, so let's go see him rain down some lightning. Here's a look at all the coaster stats if you'd like to see them. It's a shorter duration on this one with a shorter track length. Max speeds of 60 miles per hour though, some inversions, 3 there, and some airtime. Let's get to it. flailer on that one, but this person had long skinny arms and they weren't really obscuring the camera. A little bit of a Superman POV, if anything, which was fine with me. I guess the one problem with setting these up is the fact that you know, we have the guests on them, which kind of ruined the seat POV. So maybe I'll kick them off next time and ride it with no one after. But that was quite okay. Let's do a track view at daytime so we can experience the actual track layout itself. Boom, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's zoom out a little bit, take a bird's eye view, and talk about it just a little bit. As you can see, beautiful aesthetic on the boarding station here. Very Viking-esque theme here. We have a actual coaster, the Basilisk single rail coaster used as custom supports here, built on top of a rock peak. We have some cool VFX down here with a stormy ship, some lightning, some rolling river rapids going through here, which is actually, if we pull this out here, you can see it's running around the entire coaster blueprint there, adding, you know, extra whirlies, spirals of water. That's a great technique to use there. So in fact, this is a multi-coaster blueprint where we're combining the tracks of other coasters for supports, the river rapids down below. These are techniques that I believe people should be experimenting with, playing with, and getting into their coaster blueprints to add a little bit of unique elements throughout their coaster blueprint creations. Here we go with the Viking supports using logs and whatnot to hold the coaster up. I quite like that, but they're still putting the bolts and the metal into the edges there to make it somewhat believable there, bolting them into the rocks and what have you. Great winter aesthetic here as well. Tons and tons of detail, little stalagmites. Don't know what they're called, and cute little Viking buildings all around. So I'm assuming one of the builders here designed the track layout and another builder built all these little blueprints to scatter about, and then the both of them probably assembled it together and talked about it and polished it up, passing it back and forth. Which is a great fun experiment, and I definitely welcome and encourage this to anyone wanting to team up to try to build an epic coaster blueprint with their friends. Oh yeah, we also have the Mjolnir hammer over here, which is also a nice little centerpiece there, and you know, landmark right in the center of the coaster. So coaster design is great, the track length is great, everything about it is amazing. The one thing I would encourage people to do is to try to push the length of the coaster just a little bit further. While we have a 740 meter coaster, 60 seconds of duration, which is completely fine and absolutely perfect for a coaster that you place in your park. Pretty standard, if anything else. for these coaster spotlights themselves, we have seen people push up to 5,000 plus meters in a single coaster blueprint, and Zaphor tends to land around 2,000 meters. And I think that is just really difficult to do. It's very challenging, and to get that much coaster weaving in there, back and forth through itself, back and forth, and you know, keeping the elements great, keeping the theming great, and tying it all together is where the challenge is. So I challenge you guys to not only make an aesthetically beautiful coaster, but one with great length. And as I've mentioned over the last few weeks of Coaster Spotlights, I will be checking my bin for Coaster Spotlight blueprints and Coaster Spotlight park files, just anything coasters that are submitted to the Coaster Spotlight, and I'll be sorting by date submitted. So I know there's thousands of people clamoring to get on the show, and here's your opportunity, right? So I'll be checking the bin every single week to see what new coasters have been in. And this is because we are now at Coaster Spotlight 1000 plus. I have featured almost everything that you guys have sent in. And we're running a little bit dry. So if you guys want to see the continuation of Coaster Spotlight and climb up to that 2,000 milestone, we need more creations. And we're getting tons and tons and tons and tons of parks, which is totally awesome. Everybody loves it, but there is definitely a shortage of coaster spotlights, and I definitely want to feature one a week. If I get enough of these coasters sent in, I will consider doing coaster spotlights, an additional one every single week. So we're looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly. That I think everybody would have more opportunities to get featured with 2 a week. So this is one of those that I would use as a benchmark, that I would use as inspiration. But the one suggestion I would make for this one is to try to outdo the track length that this one here has done. Just try to push it maybe to 1,000 plus meters if you can, 2,000. And I think that would be a good challenge for you to also theme that and get that track length woven into a nice coaster blueprint for the Coaster Spotlight. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this was Fjoll by Darkz and Jalk, 2 legendary builders in this community. Thank you guys so much for your amazing submission. Using this one here as an example, something for people to be inspired by, and you guys are definitely leading by example with this amazing Viking creation here today. What did you guys think? Throw your comments down in the comment section below, and that is going to do it for me in today's episode of Coaster Spotlight. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye now.